back to my channel. My name is Kristen. Welcome if this is your first time stopping by. Today we are talking about all the books that I read in February. So here is my pile of books. I read a lot this month. Three of them were audio, the rest were physical. And I think I only didn't read one book that was on my physical TBR. So let's do a little quick round of applause, shall we? I'm incredibly proud of myself. I have not stuck to a TBR since I've created them on this channel, and while I didn't fully get every single book, I read more books than I even had on my physical TBR. So I'm incredibly proud of myself, and I want to talk to you about what ones I read, what were my ratings, and yeah, let's just get into this. I'm gonna try to go in order of the books, like in terms of like when I read them. Some of these maybe to be slightly out of order, but we'll just work with it. The first one though, I know for sure that I started off with was Killjoy because I wanted a quick read, and this is literally 110 pages. It looks long, actually it might be 100, let's see. Okay, so this is 113 pages. And it is so quick, so easy, and it's not like a necessity to read this book. I think I gave it 3 stars. I absolutely love this world. You guys know how much I love the Good Girls Guide to Murder world and all the characters. This is a great introduction into the characters, so you kind of get to know a little bit more of their personalities even more before like the Good Girls Guide to Murder series begins. But is this necessary for the series or to understand the characters more or to really learn more about the story? Not really. I would say that this is cute if you are missing the characters and you really wanted to read it. But other than that, it was just okay, not my favorite, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. From there, my first audiobook of the month was A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. This is the first in the Veronica Speedwell mystery series, and I think it is a great start to a cozy mystery series. It takes place in London in 1887. It follows Veronica, who has recently become kind of, I wouldn't say like alone in the world, but I guess that's the best way to put it. Both of her aunts who raised her have passed, and you pick up where she goes to her house and she sees that her house has been completely robbed and ransacked, and she has to run and hide for safety. And it follows her story and how Veronica Speedwell learns who she is and some of the characters you meet along the way. It is so cute. I cannot wait to continue the series. I think they're on like 9 or 10 in the series, so I got a long way to go. But if you have ever been intrigued by this series, I highly recommend you pick it up. I gave this 4 stars. It wasn't like jaw-dropping 5-star read, like need to, you know, reread again in my life, but I think it was a really great start to the series that I feel like I'm really gonna love. Following up, I read my first romance of the month, which was Kiss the Girl by Zoraida Cordova, and this is such a cute retelling of The Little Mermaid. I actually have to say, this may be a little bit shocking, but out of all the Disney princesses, like Little Mermaid, Ariel is my least favorite. I don't really like the story. I think it's just kind of about a spoiled brat, to be completely honest, but this story was a really great like kind of retelling in modern day, where we follow Ariel as her sisters, the Siren 7, are ending their long-term contract of being these pop stars, and they're all trying to figure out what they're going to do in their life. And Ariel is signed on by her father to continue a solo career when she's not really sure she wants to. So we kind of follow her as she's figuring out who she is, and along the way, she meets Eric, who is starting in this world of pop stardom and wanting to like really break out into the music industry, and while Ariel is trying to hide away from the music industry. So it's really interesting. I think this was really well done, and I absolutely loved this. I actually gave this 4.5 stars, and that is the highest out of the meant to be novel series so far. I've read the Cinderella, the Beauty and the Beast, and now the Little Mermaid one. The next one coming out is Tangled by Christina Lauren, and I'm so excited about that one. But I really do like these. If you want to have like a more adult fairy tale retelling, I highly recommend. These are closed door, but they are so, so good. The next book was an anticipated read for me, and I'm so excited I finally read it, and it is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I speak so highly of Ali Hazelwood on this channel. You guys know how much I love her, how much I love her books, and this one was no different, but this was really cute and really well written. However, even though everybody was saying that this was like their favorite one that Ali Hazelwood has ever written, this is actually only a 4-star for me. It was not my favorite, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I really did enjoy the story. This was just not my 5-star Ali Hazelwood, but we will see what she comes out with later this year with her newest STEM one, and I have not yet read Bride, but I know that a lot of people have been loving that, so we will see. But I absolutely still love this book and would highly recommend. Moving forward to another book that was not on my physical TBR. I did not talk about this in my TBR for February, and that is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. Oh my gosh, this book was so, so, so good. I absolutely love it. I didn't read the physical. I did read it through audio. However, I know that everybody who's experienced the physical book has said the same things, but I think for audio, it's an even better experience because the narration of the book really does cut in and kind of speaks directly to the listener, and I absolutely love that. It really breaks the fourth wall, really feels like you are part of the story, and I really love how it was told. This book is a perfect whodunit mystery. This takes place on a snowy ski resort, and you are trying to figure out who murdered this person who turned up out of nowhere, and nobody knows who the person is who died, and nobody knows who killed the person who died. So it's a very interesting book, and it's very fun and whimsical almost because it has so much humor in it, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this was an amazing read. I believe I gave it 4.25 stars. So if you love whodunits, I would highly recommend. And he did just come out with the next one in this series, which I think is called Everyone on This Train is a Suspect, and I cannot wait to read that. Now, following a humorous, fun mystery, I went into Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, and I had so many expectations and like thoughts about this book before even going into it, because this is a book that so many people love, so many people say is like their ultimate 5-star, 6-star read. Highly recommends, like absolutely makes them cry, and they just feel so connected. And this book is so beautiful and so stunning. The writing, the story of this friendship that just blossoms and becomes more and more, and how the main, both male and female, Macy and Elliot's character arcs in this story are just absolutely beautiful to follow. This story is very heart-wrenching. It is very emotional, but it wasn't a full 5-star for me. It may change because I do still think about this story, and I still think that this is a great blueprint for a friends to lovers romance. I gave this like 4.5, 4.75. I didn't get that 5-star feeling when I closed the book. I didn't feel that like warmth in my chest that I look for, but it was still absolutely beautiful, and I see why so many people love this. And this may, at the end of the year, end up turning into a 5-star read for me the more and more I think about it. I always have the opportunity to change my ratings of a book depending on how it makes me feel months, weeks, days later. But this one is so beautiful, and I see why so many people love it. Moving from Love in Other Words, I went into Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. And as we know, if you saw my reading vlog, this is such a long book. It is ridiculously long, and I think that the third one is even longer, which kind of terrifies me. I was so excited for this love story. I absolutely loved Nash in the first book, and so I was waiting to see what his character and his romance was going to look like. And this one is so much more troubling than I even thought. Like, you really see Nash grappling with the pain and not only physical but mental and emotional pain from the gunshot wounds and the terror that he went through in the first novel. And it's so interesting to see where his character starts in this book to where it ends in this book, and it's so beautiful. I also really liked Lena. She was so different than any other character I've read of before. She's so hard and strong and confident, and it's amazing how she also has this huge change from this almost like brick of a person to somebody who shares and feels and like emotes more than she ever wanted to, because she was trying to hold herself together. So this story overall is just absolutely amazing. However, I gave it 4.25 stars. I cannot give a book 5 stars that is way too long. This was just so long, and while it was an amazing read, it could have been like 200 pages less. But overall, it was really good. And if you read the first one, I would recommend reading this one. If you haven't read the first one, I don't know if I would pick up this series, but I still have the last one to read, and I will let you know when I read that one if I feel like the series is worth it overall. But yeah, I did give this 4.25 stars. My last audiobook of the month was Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. And unfortunately, this one really let me down. It had the first like 50 pages of this book were so much complaining and whining from our main character that I could not stand it. And the last 50 pages of the book should have just been the whole book. I ended up rating this, I believe, 2.5 or 3 stars. The only bright side of this book was Connor, which was the brother of the main character, and his love story and his story arc. I absolutely loved his story arc, and I think that it made the book better. But that is sad saying that the side character's love story was more important to me than the main characters. So I was really looking forward to this book, but overall, this was not it for me, and I can't recommend this. I honestly can't recommend it. I have another book that she came out with last year that I still would like to read, and hopefully I will feel differently about that one. But right now, this was just not the book for me. I finished the month of February off really strong with Divine Rivals, and this book I had so high of expectations for because this was so many people's favorite book last year, and I'm not a fantasy girly. I really try, but like I need the most simplistic form of fantasy, and this really was that. It delivered that simplistic, easy to digest fantasy with realism and magic and whimsy that I was able to really fall for this story. And this is such a beautiful love story, and it is painful. It takes place around a war, so you really can't feel happy and excited about it, but it's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to read Ruthless Vows. I've seen good reviews of Ruthless Vows, and then I've seen like a 2-star review, so I'm really hoping I don't get completely let down. I absolutely love Iris and I love Roman, and I just want the best for them, and I hope that Ruthless Vows delivers that, because it leaves you in this whole like despair, like you just have this hole in your heart and you just want to see everything come together. So I'm really hoping that the next book really delivers that. This was a 5-star read for me, and I fell in love with these characters, with the storyline, and I am so excited to see where it goes next. So I hope you guys enjoyed my February roundup. This was a great reading month for me. I really enjoyed all of the books that I read, and I'm looking forward to March. I'm already on my 3rd book for March, so I'm excited to see where March takes me. But overall, I think February was such a great month, and I had some amazing reads with mostly 4 and a 5-star read, so I could not be happier. But let me know what you guys read in February that, you know, you gave 5 stars, or what was your favorite book, and you need to share that with me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!